Good evening. This is Ben Shapiro with a special message. I'm sorry about my voice. I'm not feeling good today. So you won't hear the usual little prick 13-year-old Sheldon from Big Bang Theory voice today. I wanted to take the time to apologize to all of the black fans of the movie Black Panther and the black people in general for some statements that I made recently. One being, I actually said, like a lot of racists are saying right now, such as red pill philosophy and other racists, that honest reviews of the movie Black Panther is actually forbidden, and anybody that gives an honest review will be yelled at and you'll be called a racist. In actuality, I have to be honest, there are no black people yelling, being disrespectful, getting angry about honest reviews. In actuality, I really just wanted to give a bad review no matter how good the movie is. Since it's a movie that everybody likes, it might be a little too obvious that I'm being racist. So to cover that up, I wanted to make the accusation of racism sound ridiculous beforehand, so you can't tell. I also said that black people should not favor a superhero because they're black. They should have been happy with Blade and Catwoman. And I said white people would never favor any white guy and say he's representing because he's white. Nobody should be overjoyed because a character is black. I said that's crazy talk, and black people should not think like that. I just wanted to extend my sincere apologies to the black community because when I thought about it, when you really look at it, even if Hollywood were to make all movies with all black actors and all black characters for the next 100 years and only show whites sometimes in a negative light, like my Jewish brothers who run Hollywood have done for ages now to them, that still would not measure up to what is actually owed to black people. So I wanted to extend my apologies for that statement as well. Because if Hollywood racists would not have shown all white people for so long, then there would be no need for blacks to want to see black people. Now, I also wanted to apologize for saying that black people have the audacity to say that they in America are here still dealing with racism and they're still systematically discriminated against and they are still victims, even though slavery ended 200 years ago. And they've even had a black president of which there has not been a Jewish president, and that they have no right to feel this way. Because even I, myself as a Jewish person, I've never seen a Jewish president. So I just wanted to say that I am so sorry for being so selfish. I should not have tried to compare myself to how black people feel about their place in society when my Jewish brothers own the Federal Reserve, which actually print the money with presidents' faces on them. And for some strange reason, I forgot to mention the Jewish state that was established 70-something years ago, which have had consistent Jewish presidents ever since then, all white. A Jewish state that has been controlled by all white people. And then I would also have to explain how there's no discrimination when it's obvious to the whole world. And blacks are maybe 13% of the population of this country, but yet comprise well over 70% of the incarcerated, the majority of the poor. And in the rich neighborhoods where myself and a lot of my other Jewish brothers and sisters live, have no blacks in them at all, because there aren't cops killing Jewish people on a regular basis. So it would be pretty crazy for me to say that none of this is due to the effects of slavery, the African slave trade that my Jewish brothers financed, and also after slavery, which was Reconstruction, and also due to not getting any reparations for the situation of slavery, like my Jewish brothers got for the Holocaust, which was 68 years after slavery ended. which I had actually said was 200 years ago, but it's really more like 150 years. And on that note, I'd also like to apologize to my alma mater, Harvard, for misrepresenting both their history and their math program and curriculum there. And my next apology will be for what I said about Wakanda in the movie Black Panther. I actually said it would be a harmful, dangerous idea to come up with a fictional idea of a country with just black people and making that sound real. And I can't believe I even said anything like this. I actually said that a black utopia with trade isolation and racial unity, that would be a bad idea for black people because actually free trade is what makes life better around the world. If you have a situation where it's a country of black people and no white influence, that would be a bad thing. I let black people know that they really need to understand that Africa is not suffering due to white people. They were suffering way before white people. In actuality, I must admit, the real reason I said these horrible comments is because I'm afraid that this black movie will influence black people to get the idea to gain this word's so hard to say, power. Oh, that was hard to get out. That they might do to us if they ever get power like that, what we did to them, which is exactly what we would deserve. But I'm just afraid that they might start thinking that, and that's the real reason why I made that statement. And I'm sorry for that statement saying that free trade is what makes life better around the world. Because if anybody ever looked into what my Jewish brothers have done to have all of the jewelry stores all over the planet, they might find out that this free trade is actually, I'll give you this and you give me that. It's not a situation where you say, I'm taking this and if you don't like it, I'll kill you. That's not quite free trade. Because then I thought to myself, if Africa was really suffering before the white man, then why is it that the entire Western world and all the palaces in Britain and all the gold and the minerals and resources that we see there, why would they go to Africa to trade, I mean, steal those things if they're suffering? Seems like they would have left the people alone if they're suffering. There wouldn't be any gold to steal. So I figured I better apologize pretty quickly because only a foolish person would actually think that in history white people went to Africa and actually traded for things with Africa, shook hands, and left Africa as it was. And again, my apologies to Harvard for misrepresenting their history curriculum. I wonder how I would feel as a Jew if black people took away my state of Israel and took away all the banks and loan places and shut down all the jewelry stores and took back all the jewelry and diamonds and rubies. And we're taking all the billions of dollars that this country gives to Israel, and we're taking back all the millions and millions of dollars given to you for the Holocaust as well. And said, you just be happy with that and don't complain. And also, too, if you could believe it, I actually said that the idea of an all black country like Wakanda, that's a notion that's counterproductive to the notion of a good and honest, free American society. And in reality, I actually have no place to talk about a good, honest, free society when the very ground underneath the floor that's holding up the chair that my white ass is sitting on right now is stolen, as is the entire continent, using dishonesty, murder, and many other not good means, and then was built by you black people, which enabled my alma mater, Harvard, and other colleges to exist, which allowed me to be before you today. And neither me, Red Pill Philosophy, or anyone else has lobbied to give you black people billions of dollars, your own state, or pay you back for any of it. So I'm in no place to be any type of a moral judge or critic of black people or any people at all. So I give my sincere apologies. I swear that I'm not a racist. I will get my 1 3/5 black friends to vouch for me right now that I am not a racist. So I would just like to thank you, Nick, black people, for taking the time to hear me out on this issue. Good night.